Is it a shivling or a fountain at Kashi? Mountain of evidence gathered by the Archaeological Survey of India. 1,100-page report submitted in court. Will facts in court settle the issue? Battle lines drawn over report in a sealed cover. The Kashi Truth Files is our top focus on India First. The director of the Archaeological Survey of India has submitted a 1,100-page report, and in this annexure list of 300 artifacts that have been recovered from the scientific survey at the Gyanvapi Mosque. But this report that was submitted in a sealed cover has caused a furor. The Hindu side has objected, saying a sealed cover is a violation of a Supreme Court order. The Muslim side insists the report must not only remain in a sealed cover, but also seeks an affidavit from all sides that details of the ASI findings will not be made public. Why? Why should facts from the ASI report not be made public? Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain and Advocate Varas Pathan join me on India First, and we get you all sides of this very heated debate. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started with the headlines on India First. A total of 92 opposition MPs from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha suspended for the rest of the winter session. Politics over parliament security breach escalates. Opposition says it's not being allowed to question the Narendra Modi government. Probe intensifies into parliament security breach. Accused Sagar, who set off smoke cans inside Lok Sabha, says he's done nothing wrong. Police teams reach Mysuru to take the probe forward. Enforcement Directorate summons Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the Delhi Liquorgate case on the 21st of December. This is the second time Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the agency. Earlier, he was called for questioning on the 2nd of November. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's comments on Islam explode. She says Islamic culture and European values are incompatible, asserts there is no place for this pattern of Islam in Europe. Pakistani media claims underworld Dawn and international terror financer Dawood Ibrahim hospitalized in Karachi due to a serious illness. Tight security in place at the hospital. The floor has been shut off for everyone else, reports claim. The Archaeological Survey of India submitted its findings of the scientific survey at the disputed Gyanvapi Mosque in Kashi in a sealed cover in a Varanasi court today. The 1,100-page report, according to the Hindu side, should not have been submitted in a sealed cover. The Hindu side insists the Supreme Court has already settled the matter that the report should not be submitted in sealed cover but as an open document. The Muslim side, on the other hand, insists that the sealed cover should not only remain, but it does not want the findings to be made public even later. Why? Our Uttar Pradesh Bureau brings us more on our top story tonight.
Monday, the Archaeological Survey of India submitted its report on the Gyanvapi Mosque case in the court in a sealed envelope. Earlier in the day, the Muslim side filed an appeal at Varanasi District Court seeking submission of a sealed survey report. Hindu side alleged that the ASI has violated the Supreme Court order by submitting the sealed report.
हम हमारा ये आपत्ति है कि ये रिपोर्ट सील कवर में फाइल ही नहीं हो सकती थी। सुप्रीम कोर्ट में 4 अगस्त में ये मामला उठा था और अंजुमन इंतजामिया की वहां पे यही डिमांड थी कि रिपोर्ट सील कवर में फाइल की जाए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उस मांग को सिरे से खारिज कर दिया। उसके बाद आज एएसआई ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के वायलेशन में ये रिपोर्ट सील कवर में फाइल की है, पॉइंट नंबर 1। और दूसरी बात यह है कि हमने कोर्ट के सामने प्रार्थना पत्र दिया है कि इसकी कॉपी हमें तुरंत प्रोवाइड की जाए ईमेल के माध्यम से, और कोर्ट ने कहा है कि दोनों पक्षों को सुनने के बाद 21 तारीख को अप्रोप्रिएट ऑर्डर पास करें।
सील कवर में दाखिल किया है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, और इनको आज ही कॉपी चाह रही थी, और अंजुमन इंतजामिया की तरफ से ये एप्लीकेशन दिया गया कि साहब इसमें कॉपी पार्टीज ऑफ द सूट को प्रोवाइड जरूर किया जाए, लेकिन उनसे एफिडेविट के जरिए अंडरटेकिंग लेते हुए कि ये जब तक इस एएसआई रिपोर्ट का डिस्पोजल नहीं हो जाए तब तक इसको मीडिया या अन्य में किसी प्रकार लीक न किया जाए, क्योंकि इससे जो है समाज में जो है मीडिया के गलत रिपोर्टिंग से जो है अवेयरनेस फैलने की संभावना।
On 4th August, ASI started a survey within the barricaded region of the Gyanvapi Mosque premises, excluding its sealed section, the Wazukhana area. The controversial area was sealed under Supreme Court's order. The Varanasi Court directions of July is aimed to ascertain whether the 17th century mosque was allegedly built upon a pre-existing structure of a Hindu temple. The court will declare its order in the next hearing scheduled on 21st of December. Bureau Report, India Today.
So why this objection to a sealed cover, and why the insistence on a sealed cover? We have two strong advocates representing two different points of view on this hot debate. Joining me on this broadcast is Advocate Varas Pathan, leader and spokesperson of the AIMIM, representing the Muslim point of view, and of course you have Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain, advocate for the Hindu side. And I want to begin by asking you, Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain, why are you insisting that the ASI report be made public? Why the opposition to this report being submitted in a sealed cover the way it was today?
See, first of all, this matter was argued before the Honorable Supreme Court threadbare, and before the Supreme Court it was categorical argument by the Anjuman Intizamiya that this report must be filed in sealed cover. The Supreme Court rejected this demand of sealed cover, and if you will read the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in this very case on 4th of August 2023, the Supreme Court has been very categorical that this report has to be filed in terms of Order 26, Rule 9 and 10. Let me tell you that when the report was filed by the Advocate Commissioner in this case, it was not in the sealed cover, and the procedure for sealed cover is that the report has to be filed in sealed cover only when the court specifically directs.
Okay.
In fact, I must tell you that the Supreme Court time and again has deprecated the practice of sealed cover, and in fact in the facts of this very case, sealed cover was rejected and denied, and despite that fact, in clear violation of the order of the Supreme Court, this report today has been filed in the sealed cover. And kindly see the irony. The 4 women plaintiffs and the lawyers who are running from pillar to post from the district court till the Supreme Court to get the ASI survey done, who participated in the ASI survey for 92 days, who waited for the ASI to file the report, on many hearings adjournments were taken. Today was the day to see the report, at least what's written in the report, and that was also not shown to us by filing the report in the sealed cover.
So let's take this point by point. Let me get Varas Pathan for his opening comments. Sir, why are you insisting that the report remain in a sealed cover? Don't you also want facts to emerge the way facts exist according to this report?
Well, Gaurav, to begin with, the BJP is trying to polarize the situation prior to the 2024 elections by creating hatred amongst the two communities which are living peacefully in our country. But now, they all, everybody knows in the country that why this is happening, when they very well know that the Places of Worship Act 1991 is still into existence. It is the law which was framed by the Parliament in 91, and we all have to abide by that. But then they know that this type of surveys will create an atmosphere of hatred, but they are going forward with that. So where will they stop? We have been telling that since long, Gaurav, that 1991 Places of Worship Act 91 is enacted was an intention, with an intention that whichever place of worship prior to 15 August 1947 is there as it is. You cannot change the nature and character. But during the Babri Masjid time also, What you saw, Congress, they opened the lock. Then ultimately they said that some murtis have come out, murti prakat ho gayi. They filed an affidavit. But on 6 December 1992, our Babri Masjid was demolished. The Supreme Court unanimously hold that no mandir was demolished. We don't want that, sir.
Okay. Okay, but let's stay on the current issue for the moment. Let's talk about Gyanvapi and Mathura. Vishnu Jain, you heard Varas Pathan, he insists that litigation regarding both Mathura and Kashi are with an eye on 2024 elections with a view to polarize the electorate, and of course also insists this is a violation of the Places of Worship Act 1991.
See, I think when the report will be read by us, I think this argument of Places of Worship Act will be dead and buried for once and for all. Because the word which the Places of Worship Act uses is religious character. And we cannot go by the interpretation given by the narratives driven by the Muslim side, because whatever they are arguing is not written in the act. What's written in the act is that religious character has to be determined. And when the report of ASI will come and will be read by us, the religious character will be very clear that it is having all the characteristics of a Hindu temple, and therefore they are just saying that it is a violation of 1991 Act. But let me tell you that on the argument of 1991 Act, in this very Gyanvapi case, they have lost from 2 courts, one by a District Court of Varanasi on 12th of September 2022 and by the Honorable Allahabad High Court on 31st of May 2023.
Okay, let me get Varas Pathan to respond to that. Sir, the Hindu side insists the Kashi Vishwanath temple, one, according to them, predates the mosque built on a farman of Aurangzeb to demolish the Hindu temple there, Kashi and Mathura. Hindus did not get justice under the Mughals or the British. Should they be denied justice even today if there is merit that a temple was demolished and a mosque built? Point 1, and point 2, the Places of Worship Act issue has been addressed by 2 courts of law at 2 different levels.
Well, see, the country will not run on the basis of faith, but on the basis of the constitution, Gaurav. And the Supreme Court, while delivering the judgment of the Babri Masjid case, was clearly, they stated, unanimous decision that no temple was destroyed to build a mosque. They said there is no evidence to it. They said we have no evidence to say that or to say, submit that some murtis were there. It was clear. And let me tell you, Gaurav, had there been our mosque on 6th of December, the judgment would have been totally different. So why don't they accept this fact, the truth? Why don't they accept this? But they just want to go on with the survey with a mala fide intention. You, me, everybody knows what is the intention. Similar situation we don't want to create of the Babri era, which will end all, now everything will open the Pandora's box. And as far as the Shahi Idgah thing is concerned, Gaurav, let me tell you, the issue is already settled 50 years back. In the year 1968, the Shahi Idgah Trust and the Krishna Bhumi Trust, they entered into an agreement for settlement before the court, and the courts have passed in order that everything, the issue settled. So why to wreck up the issue after 50 years?
Okay, but for the moment I am on the Gyanvapi case since that report was submitted by ASI. Advocate Vishnu Jain, on the point of nature and character of the place, 15th August 1947. The Kashi, disputed site or the Mathura disputed site, were there a temple or a mosque? Because you've heard Varas Pathan, he insists that a character of that place cannot be changed. It has to be as it existed on August 15, 1947.
There was a temple. No, on 15th August 1947, our categorical stand was that it was having all the characteristics of a Hindu temple. The characteristics of Hindu temple were changed. The Vyas Parivar were thrown out of the cellar in November 1991. We were worshipping in the premises in question. In the so-called mosque, we were worshipping Ma Shingar Gauri, Lord Hanuman, Lord Ganesh, and visible and invisible deities. And all those worships were stopped in November 1993 when the Mulayam Singh Yadav government had put that barricading. So Places of Worship Act has been violated against us in Gyanvapi case, and in violation of Section 3, our puja and worship, which was continuing, was stopped in November 1993. And this so-called mosque is not a mosque. It is having all the characteristics of a Hindu temple. It has just been used as a mosque by going and offering namaz there and by offering wazu there.
Okay, Varas Pathan, respond to Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain on the Places of Worship Act. 2 points he makes. One, the character and nature of a temple remains, and the issue of Places of Worship Act has been deliberated and discussed in 2 levels, the judiciary and lower courts, and also the Honorable High Court. So both those points were issued, and yet the court said go ahead with the scientific survey. These points had been raised. Places of Worship Act was raised by the Muslim side in both courts of law, sir.
Well, as far as the courts are concerned, with the greatest respect to the honorable courts, let me quote Justice J.S. Verma, the ex-Chief Justice of Supreme Court, when he said that the Supreme Court is supreme but not infallible. So, we have a right, and the Constitution has given me a right to object if I feel that no, something is wrong, something is amiss, that they should not have passed such kind of orders. So, we feel that the Places of Worship Act is directly being violated. Now, what was the use of the Places of Worship Act? Why? What was the intention? Was very clear that such kind of things would rack up in the future. So, to prevent that, the Places of Worship Act came into existence. The Parliament is still not overruled that, it's still there.
Okay.
So, we all have to follow. Now, allowing a survey, what will you gain by that? What will you gain? Now, the matter is given in a sealed envelope. It happens usually with many of the matters which we have seen. I am also practicing lawyer. We have seen sometimes the sensitive issue, the sealed envelope is given to the court, and who is given? Not the Muslims. The ASI has given the sealed envelope to the honorable court. So why this objection? And let the court decide. Let the decide. Now the matter is kept 13th for the hearing. We will see what is happening.
Okay, okay. Vishnu Jain, after this report is deliberated upon in a court of law, is your next step, sir, to demand an ASI survey also of that wuzu area, that wuzu khana, where you insist, the Hindu side insists, that it's not a fountain but a holy shivling? Is that your next step, sir?
Yes, it was my categorical demand before the District Court of Varanasi and before the Allahabad High Court. The Allahabad High Court, after hearing me in detailed length on 12th of May 2023, passed an order directing the ASI survey of the Wazu tank. Let me tell you, Gaurav, the first order in this case was of ASI survey of the Wazu tank, and this order was passed on 12th of May. Against this order, the Anjuman went to the Supreme Court, who was calling this shivling as fountain, and they said that no ASI investigation must not be done of this Wazu tank, and the Supreme Court stayed the order on 19th of May. I am hopeful that when the matter will come up for hearing in January, we'll get the stay vacated, and this Wazu tank will also be investigated by the ASI.
Okay. Varas Pathan, if the ASI survey does indicate the existence of a temple that predates the mosque, sir, isn't it in the interest of principles of natural justice be followed that a scientific survey of the shivling also be carried out, and it establishes whether it was a fountain as the Muslim side insists, or a holy shivling, a Swayambhu shivling as the Hindus insist?
Well, this will be taking the country back to the Babri era, which the Parliament wanted to prevent. That is why the Places of Worship Act 1991 came into existence. Nobody is saying that. Why don't you follow that? It's a rule, it's a law passed by the Parliament. If you don't follow that, what is the use of such kind of thing? And we have already lost our one mosque, our masjid. शहीद कर दिया 6 December 1992 को धोखे से. So we don't want our other mosques to go. Now they won't stop here. They say Kashi, Mathura, 3,000 mosques, but these are all against the Places of Worship Act 1990 was total violation. And I am sure and I feel that the Masjid Committee will definitely contest and go in appeal against the orders, and it will be challenged.
Okay, okay. Vishnu Jain, please clarify this aspect of Places of Worship Act that's repeatedly raised. The Muslim side insists 15th August 1947, the nature of the place was a mosque, whether at Kashi or a Mathura. Varas Pathan insists that they've lost Ayodhya, they will not lose another mosque, whether it's at Mathura or at Kashi.
Yes, You are absolutely right. It is my categorical stand that in Kashi and Mathura, in both the cases, the places of worship act is in favor of the Hindus. In both the places, the religious character of that place and the premise in question was of a Hindu temple. And after 1947, in violation of Section 3, all those premises are being used as a mosque and illegal encroachment has been done.
Okay, okay. You know, Varas Pathan, you raised the issue of Ayodhya, then you talk about Mathura and Kashi. Now, as far as Ayodhya, Mathura and Kashi are concerned, there are civilizational roots of the Sanatan Dharma here. Sir, do the Muslims have a strong civilizational root to either Ayodhya or Mathura or Kashi, perhaps like Mecca or other religious places?
Well, Gaurav, my faith is also there. My Iman says once a masjid, always a masjid. एक बार जहाँ मस्जिद तामील हो गई वो क़यामत तक मस्जिद ही रहेगी. This is what we say, and this is what happens to us. We were cheated during the Babri issue. Our masjid was demolished on 6 December. By cheating, they filed an affidavit before the Honorable Court. Nobody believed that. Nobody now saying about that. Why the Congress opened the locks? Then they say that the murti is prakat ho gayi. And then you file an affidavit, and on 6 December, you, me, everybody saw it for the 6 December is the black day in the democracy of our country.
Okay.
We say so that. So we don't want to do some other masjids. That is why we say that a masjid committee will definitely challenge these orders which are passed for surveys.
No, but I want to understand from you, Varas Pathan, is an amicable solution possible, or is the legal route the only way forward? Because for Hindus, Ayodhya, Mathura and Kashi have strong civilizational roots. Is an amicable solution possible, sir?
No, why should we only be made to resolve the situation amicably when already we have settled, when already Babri Masjid is given to them, when they have already demolished the Babri Masjid? Why only we should be? So now they must come for amicable settlement and they must say that yes, we follow the places of worship act and we don't want a survey. Let the place be there as it is, where it is. It is a mosque, it is a mosque, let it be there as it is. So this should be from both the sides. No, we have already lost one mosque. Now, when will this end? When will this end, Gaurav? I'm asking a simple question to you. This will be a never-ending story that there was no use for places of worship. Had there been the Babri Masjid on 6 December standing as it is, the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court would have been totally different, because they unanimously said there is no temple were destroyed and no mosque was built on a destroyed temple. They unanimously said that no murti prakat, but it was only under Article 142 that the Supreme Court passed an order. So this time, no. We will fight the case, let the constitution prevail, let the places of worship act 1991 prevail, and I feel and I am sure that the Supreme Court will definitely look into it and order will be passed in our favor this time.
Vishnu Shankar Jain, you heard Varas Pathan. Is an amicable resolution possible through dialogue, or are courts the only way forward, given how strong sentiments are on both sides, sir?
I ask you a question, Gaurav, and I ask myself a question. If someone enters into my house, my ancestral property, he captures all the 10 rooms of that house, and today when I want that illegal trespasser, that illegal encroacher to get out of my house, people ask me that why don't you do a compromise with the illegal trespasser and an encroacher. Same are the facts of this case. These both the properties are properties of the deity. First of all, I am no one to enter into a compromise, and for that matter, no person of any member or any section of the society can enter into such a compromise. Point number one. Point number two is that I am against this principle of compromise, because this is the land of the deity and we are not ready to sacrifice even a single inch of land.
Fair enough. I will let that be the last part and last word on this part of the show. Courts of law is where both sides are, and we leave it to the majesty of our judiciary to decide on this issue. We'll be tracking that story very, very closely, but I want to leave you on a happier note. Before the 26th January Republic Day celebrations, India will have another mega civilizational celebration. The Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir at Ayodhya. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Ayodhya on the 22nd of January. And a day later, on the 23rd of January, the doors of the Divya Bhavya Ram Mandir, as they say, will be opened for devotees from across the world. Preparations are on in full swing. Some devotees say that the Sanatan Dharma followers have waited nearly 400 years to pray at the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi. We leave you with this report.
Preparations for the inauguration of the Ayodhya Ram Temple in January are in full swing. For the Pran Pratishtha of the deity, Akshat Puja started on Sunday. Ram Mandir Construction Committee chairperson is now distributing official invites to dignitaries. Prime Minister has confirmed his presence for the inauguration ceremony on the 22nd of January.
लेखक, साहित्यकार, रंगमंच के लोग, फिल्म जगत के लोग, कवि, इनके नाम चुने गए हैं। भारत सरकार ने पद्मश्री दिया, ऐसे भी कुछ नामों का चयन किया गया है।
8th descendant of Nihag Baba Fakir Singh Khalsa has promised to conduct a langar during the consecration of Lord Ram in Ayodhya on 22nd January.
मैं गल कर रहा जथेदार बाबा फकीर सिंह जी निहंग सिंह जी जिन्हां ने उस खालसा होण दा समाज नूं एक संदेश दिता। 1858 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਾਥੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਉਸ ਮਸਜਿਦ ਨੂੰ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਹਵਨ ਕੀਤਾ।
Mohammad Jamaluddin and Bittu from West Bengal's Barasat area have created 2 idols of Lord Ram to be used around the Ram temple for decorations and worship in Ayodhya.
এটা আপনার প্রথম যেটা বানিয়েছি ওইটা 2 মাস লেগেছে। তারপরে ওটা আমার ছাস ছিল বলে ওটা আপনার 1.5 মাসের মধ্যে হয়ে গেছে। ঠিক আছে, তো ওটা আপনার ফিনিশিং দিয়েছি টোটালে লাস্টেরটা আপনার ফিনিশিং দিয়েছি 1.5 মাসে।
In just about a month, this entire preparation will reach its crescendo with the inauguration of the temple in Ayodhya. Bureau Report, India Today.